Justice Stephen Breyer officially announcing his retirement today following more than 2 decades on the high court. He says what's given him the thrill on the job all these years is that we're a complicated nation.
I want to say, look, of course people don't agree, but we have a country that is based on human rights, democracy, and so forth. But I'll tell you what Lincoln thought, what Washington thought, and what people today still think. It's an experiment. You know who will see whether that experiment works? It's you, my friend.
President Joe Biden confirms he will make good on a campaign promise to nominate a qualified black woman to replace Justice Breyer. And one name being discussed nationally is the sister of Georgia politician Stacey Abrams. Joe Hinkie has details on Justice Leslie Abrams Gardner.
I'm told Leslie Abrams Gardner is qualified to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court as a former federal prosecutor and current federal court judge. But when you compare her to other candidates, I'm told it's not likely that she'll be President Joe Biden's pick. The Washington Post, Politico, and Bloomberg all naming Justice Leslie Abrams Gardner, Stacey Abrams' sister, as one of several possible Supreme Court nominees.
I believe that a judge, and particularly a district court judge, is bound by the rule of law, bound by precedent.
Gardner has served in the U.S. District Court for Middle Georgia since 2014.
I think the president is going to look across the country for judges who are kind of in the age range where people typically are selected, so between the ages of 45 and 55. And he's going to look for people who have judicial experience, most likely.
Fred Smith, professor of law at Emory, says Gardner fits that bill, but so do several other possible nominees. Smith says Biden will likely interview a small handful of candidates. After he names a nominee, the Senate will then take over.
And the Senate will gain access to information from that nominee. So any opinion that they've ever written, any speech that they've ever given, any opinion piece that they've ever written, all of that is going to be in front of the Senate. Any parking ticket they've ever received, all of that will be under scrutiny, what their neighbors say about them, et cetera.
The Senate Judiciary Committee will then question the nominee, and if approved, the full Senate will finally vote.
Not surprised that, that she's in the mix, but I ultimately don't think that she'll get the nod.
Georgia State Assistant Law Professor Anthony Michael Kreis says Gardner is qualified, but other candidates are better positioned. Kreis says Ketanji Brown Jackson, for example, has district court experience and was vetted last year before being confirmed with bipartisan support for an opening on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, the highest court after the Supreme Court. Now, like all current justices, minus Elena Kagan, Jackson has appeals court experience.
More likely that you'll see an appellate court judge picked because that's also been pretty much the standard as of late. Picking a Georgia district court judge would be somewhat out of step with that.